Well, hey everybody. Um, Sorry about tonight. Um, it's kind of wet outside right now. It looks like it's going to be that way for the next hour or so. Um, had to call off us meeting outside. I was very sad about that because I wanted to meet with you guys. I had something that I really wanted to share with you. I'll kind of give you a little, over the next few minutes, just give you a little teaser about what we're going to do next week. And as we start coming back little by little, we will every week we may tweak some things just a little bit more, and there may be something a little different that we do next week. So just pay attention to announcements and what we say about where we're meeting and when we're meeting and all that kind of good stuff. Hopefully we won't run into this problem with weather and meeting outside again, but you never know. Next week which is after Friday, which is after when we can start kind of doing in phase one, we may be able to tweak what we do a little bit and maybe do some other things inside. So we'll see. Just keep praying for that. Keep an eye on, an ear on that, and we'll see what we can do next week. Today, as I struggled all day with whether or not should we have it, should we meet together, should I call people out to come out and risk it, and well, what if it rains, and what if there's light, all these things. And all day I have like 4 different weather apps on my phone. I have like 2 different radar, weather radar. That's hard to say, weather radar on my phone. And I was looking at it all day, and none of them said the same thing. Well, the radars did because they kind of have to. But the four weather apps never said the same thing at what percentage at what time. And I was sitting here thinking, okay, who do I listen to? Which one is right? Which one's wrong? And I put off making the decision, hoping that I would find the app that would best fit what I wanted it to say or what I wanted it to do. And because I really wanted us to meet tonight, I really wanted us to worship together and that kind of thing. And so I just kept putting it off because I wanted to find something that I could listen to, get information from, that would fit the story that I wanted to tell. And as I got to thinking about that after I made the decision, and that it really goes into what I was going to talk to you about tonight, is who do you listen to? Who do you get advice from? It's so easy, especially in today's world, to find things that fit what we want the world to be. I was thinking yesterday, this whole coronavirus thing. I read an article on one particular news outlet about Dr. Fauci and what he was telling the Senate. And this one particular news outlet, and I'm not going to name names because it's just kind of what their spin was. He said it this way. And then I go to another outlet and it says something completely different. Kind of same words, but spin it completely different than the other. And I thought, who's right? And then I started to realizing that, maybe I like one over the other because it fits what I want. Does it fit the facts? Does it fit? And I'm not trying to be political, and I'm not trying to say one news outlet's better than the other. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it really got me to thinking, who do I listen to? And what do I say things are true because it fits what I want? Or does it say things, and I say that something else is wrong because I don't like it? And because I promise you can go on the internet And you can find anything to back up any claim that you say. I mean, just about. Let's just be honest. And so this is what I want you to do. Before next Wednesday, I want you to turn to 1 Kings chapter 12. 1 Kings chapter 12, and I want you to read the first 19 verses. And that's what my message will be on next week. And I want you to look at them. And I want you to read this story because it's a story of, and you may recognize the name Rehoboam. That's Solomon's son. Where he comes, Solomon has died and he is now king. And he's getting advice from two different groups of people. And I want to teach from that next week so that we can really get down to the nitty-gritty of who we listen to, not just who we listen to, but why we listen to them. And then I want us to understand also that just because something fits our narrative or something fits the way we view the world or the way that we want the world to be, that might not be God's story. It might not be God's narrative. And so, again, I want you to go to 1 Kings chapter 12, and I want you to read the first 19 verses. And this is what I really want you to do. And I want you guys to come kind of prepared for next week. I want you to take your notepad and a pencil, and I want you to write some things down that maybe God reveals to you from this scripture. I want you to write down some questions that you may have from this scripture, because this is it fits our time. Even though this happened thousands of years ago, this story, it fits what we're going through. And it fits our lives today in a sense that who we listen to matters. Why we listen to them matters. And so if you could do that for me this weekend or this week before next Wednesday, that would be great. I look forward to what you guys think about this story. And as you read this story, I don't want you to think about old people versus young people, because that's kind of what the story kind of talks about. Is he listens to some of the younger guys and not the older guys. Don't think of it that way. I want you to think of it in a way way that people who truly are seeking God's story versus those who are seeking their own story. And I think too many times that we try to seek our own story and it doesn't fit God's story. And then things go completely wrong. And we wonder, what happened, God? Why? And we realize that's not really God's story. So as you're reading it, think about those things. And I've got some more things I'm going to bring out to you from this scripture. I mean, 1 Kings chapter 12, the first 19 verses. And something else I want you to do as you read this, and read it more than once. Don't just after we get off, go read it once and forget about it. Read it. I'm not saying every day, you don't have to, but take time to read it 3 or 4 times before next week, and take out your notepad and things. And the second time you read it, you may cross out a question that you had, like, oh, I get it now. Or you may come up with another question, and that's okay. But read it a few times before next week. And if you have any questions or have any things that you may want to ask me before then, or say, hey, Chad, I saw this in that particular scripture, and I think it's kind of important that you bring this out. And it may be something that I didn't see, and that's okay. That's cool. I don't mind that at all. I love it when people show me things in scripture that I didn't see. So when you think about it, think about those things as you're reading it. And again, I'm very sorry about tonight. I was really, especially after last week, after so many of you came, and it was so much fun just being with you guys and seeing you face to face. It was so much fun. my spirit's disappointed that we didn't get to see each other, but it's okay. Um, we'll see each other again. If you've heard the announcement, we have 3 worship services on Sunday, so you can come be a part of that. And then next Wednesday, we'll be back together. Right, one way or the other, next Wednesday, we'll be back together. So that's kind of my little, I don't know, ramblings for 12 minutes, just to kind of get you thinking about what we're going to be talking about the next couple of weeks, and to get you get your mindset on those things, and we can go from there. So I love you very much, and I hope that you have a great week, and I hope that as we wind down this pandemic thing, as we start opening phase by phase, that you're ready to step back into the world, but step back into it different, that God has changed your heart and changed your priorities, and so that you can do that. All right, guys. Well, like I said, I love you, and I will see you soon. Take care.